So, welcome back. This is GameBreakers. We're playing a Pirates Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game, and things are randomly falling. So, you have been told you will be part of the skeleton crew of a ship going to Port Peril for both selling the ship and selling slaves that you have acquired from the occupants of the ship previously. So is there anything, and on the map there's a few characters that you've met that have been also picked for the skeleton crew, including Sandara, Rosie, Shortstone, who was a bard that you met a couple times. Oh, not the cleric. And a handful of folks that you have a passing knowledge of. And that's about it. Is there anything you wanted to do before leaving Wormwood?
No, I think I'm good.
We'll do it.
All right, so the Captain North creates, uses some a tidal wave and some other control weather spells, and sets the ships a sailing in their respective directions. And he sails off, and as he kind of gets in the distance, you start to hear him sing a sea shanty, and that's where Captain North takes the Wormwood, and Adriande's Folly is being headed by Mr. Plugg. And Mr. Plugg briefly addresses the skeleton crew and says, we're short on hands, so everyone is going to have to work double shifts, and I don't want to see any slackened Scourges here to make sure that you keep up the pace. And cracks the whip. Literally. So, there are daytime actions that you can take on the ship. Like before, you can work diligently, because you'll also have a task. You were on rigging and cook and swap. And yeah, so first, the daytime actions, you can either work diligently, which gives you a bonus. You can try to influence one of the NPCs. You can try to sneak around, or you can try to shirk your responsibilities.
I'm just working.
Okay, you can get the +4.
I'm guessing I'm a cook again.
Yep, they need a cook on the ship, and you have the most experience now.
By 3 days. And I have Pickle on rat duty again.
Okay.
Yeah, please don't suck at cooking. That's that could go poorly for everyone. All
right, so most of the ship's wares were transferred to the plundered and put in the other ship, and there's some left, but you need to go fishing to provide that the protein. So make a survival check.
Oh God. 9.
And you have a bonus because you decided to work diligently. So by working diligently, you managed to gather enough fish. Okay. Anyone else have a daytime action?
Is this really like rod and reel kind of fishing, or is it like
net fishing?
Okay.
I guess I kind of want to go explore. I don't know anything about this ship, but apparently the captain really wanted it. So I think that I'll do that. I'll just try and explore, see if there's anything particularly neat about the ship. I have now seen a number of ships in my life.
Okay. Maybe just give me a perception check. See what you can see.
Cool. Nope, that's a 9.
9. Okay. And so is 12 the final?
No, so that's
that.
So it's 9 after modifiers. What that is that's advantage and disadvantage. So the first die roll is the first one, and then that's just a second d20 if I have advantage or disadvantage.
I gotcha. So the first one is the one to go for otherwise. Okay.
Yep.
So 9. The Wormwood had been a pretty beat up ship. Like it had been a pirate ship for some time, but by comparison, this one is in nicer condition. It's it's got an additional mast. It's a 3-masted ship. And a lot of things that had been in the ship are now in the other ship. So it's hard to tell.
Right.
Not much to find there, but yeah, it is a fine ship.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. And then I just do my duties as well.
All right, they need you to do line work, helping hoist and lowering the sails as needed. They don't have the captain's wind proficiency guiding them, so make a dexterity check.
Dexterity check. Okay, and do I get to add my proficiency with aquatic vehicles again? Because of my history as a sailor. Cool.
Yeah.
That's 12. I'm not doing the rolls right now.
That turned a 5 into something decent though. You managed to pull it up and down as needed. There's a bit more wind than usual. Kind of throws you off your game a bit, but you manage.
For sure.
All right, Thomas. Is there any actions or Korrim? Is there any actions that you'd like to take?
Hey there, Mr. Skirt. How much do we think we're getting for these 5 non-crew here? What's the ransom on those fellas?
I don't got time to talk right now, and he's very busy directing crew, and with the shorthanded nature of the ship, he's not really in a mood to talk.
I'm just gonna pick them up and put them to work. And just hold up a couple of gems.
Put him to work?
Yeah, we'll make him do my shifts.
All the crew members are working.
Yeah. I figured, we got mouths that are feeding and not, doing work. Just give us an early profit, and I'll supervise.
I think that Key just like yells over their shoulder, like after eavesdropping, Korrim wants to buy them.
Scourge just shakes his head and keeps going. He doesn't know how to respond to that.
Well, cool. I'll just put the gold on the deck. Want to haggle? No? All right.
He's climbed up the rigging. If you're gonna.
That's fine. I'll go get them out and give them each mops. All the mops, I'll give them my mop. And now I don't have a mop, and I'm just gonna show them where to mop.
Are you gonna free the prisoners to do this? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'll keep them on leashes.
Well, that's not so easy. They're being guarded down below. They're not cooperative, so they're being held against their will down below. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I'll spend the time attempting to persuade them. It's better than mopping.
All right.
Oh, that wasn't a deep. Nope, I got a 0.
They just spit in your face.
Just wow.
Nope. Oh,
Captain Daedalus forever.
you guys know he's dead, right? I mean, we killed him. What do you want?
They start doing that barking thing like they did in Black Panther when the white guy talks.
That's fine. I'll do it back. Like we'll just spend an hour yelling at them until somebody makes me go back and mop. That's all just clever work avoidance, really. It's essentially trying to get away with shirking my
Oh yeah, trying to shirk your duties.
my flaw. There's so much I can do, but I just want to do so little.
Yeah, doing that. All right. Shirking responsibility, you take a little bit of a negative to your task, but you still have to do it.
Okay.
Swabbing the decks. Classic swab task.
What I was trying to avoid the whole time. Like, damn.
Strength check is where we're at with that.
Well, that makes it a 10 with my crappy roll of a 6.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what? I would enhance ability if that's my score or that's my job for the day. I would give myself advantage on strength.
All right.
Makes it an 11.
Ooh. You know what that does? Just the penalty. Yeah, that. Yeah, you swab decks. It is not the hardest you've swabbed decks, but you do swab the deck.
Right. It's a lot of one-handed. Nah.
Yeah, your lackadaisical attitude is not immediately apparent, but noted. All right, and as the day comes to a close, a couple of people start asking about rum rations, but Mr. Plugg shuts that down. We have no need to waste our energy on frivolry and for unworthy crew members like yourself. So get down below, and I don't want to see any of you scurvy buggers up here. And he goes to the upper deck, and the Scourge scours at you. No rum ration.
Was it Scourge that said no run ration or Mr. Plugg?
It was Mr. Plugg saying there was no. Get down below, and no rum ration, no partying.
Well,
I don't want to see you guys gambling either.
it sounds like it. I think that he is saying this after we've gone below deck now. It sounds like he's asking for hijinks. I really was hoping for that rum. That's the only good thing about being a pirate.
Several other pirates are nodding, like, yeah, we deserve the rum.
There has to be rum on this ship, right? Like, there has to be. We should just go get it.
Who all are you saying this to?
Just all of us down here, I think.
Am I with them?
I will cast locate object
on the rum.
Where's the
rum? So where is the rum? You are in the lower hold, currently of the ship where there's hammocks and things like the other, like in the other ship, and locate rum, something you've seen before, right? Is what the requirement for that?
The spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain type of apparel. So yeah, nearest rum. Where's the rum?
There is some rum in the upper deck. It's hard to with your locate. I think it's more directional, and I would assume it from where you are, so it's up. You know.
Right.
I sense direction as long as
In the direct, in the direction of one of the upper deck rooms.
I'll pace up and down the lower deck and just kind of triangulate a little. It lasts for 10 minutes, so I've got time to wander and.
It's probably after you walk around for a bit, it's you notice it's probably in the captain's quarters on the upper deck.
I am not shocked.
There's got to be a way we can heist this.
I would like to point out that people were given 2 options: cooperate or be sold into slavery.
We can't sell us all into slavery.
We know he can recruit new ones.
We're already understaffed. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Well, there's also,
and not to mention that was the captain that gave people 2 options.
I mean, are you gonna get the shakes or anything? If don't get the rum?
It's about the principle, really.
Principles?
I think that we all did a great job, and he called us the unworthy crew members for rum rations. All the guys who did nothing are fucking on the other ship, probably having rum right now.
I'm not saying he's not a dick.
The other crew, every time he says these things, the other crew members are, why are we putting up? You know, they're also outraged, feeling that.
Well, I'm not going to egg him on, but
You really want to try to break into the captain's quarters?
It's been a boring ride so far. All we did was tie up some ropes, swab some decks, and I don't know, catch some fish, and then not get any rum.
So
I
what
get
do you
that
do?
you're like content to just hang out and look spooky, but like some of us like to have fun.
He doesn't know how to take being called spooky by a giant bird.
I'm gorgeous, thank you very much. God, I really want to pull this off. I didn't think it through.
Do you have a plan?
The thing is that Cedric is sure that Key would, but Cedric doesn't exactly think that way. And I have difficulty with that gap.
What time of day is it?
It's shortly after sunset. I mean, like 8, 9-ish. No one has any clocks.
Right. So chances are the captain is in his quarters right now.
Yeah, Mr. Plugg, Scourge, and a few other high-ranking folks are all absent from the lower hold.
Right.
Right.
So you want to break into an occupied office and steal a limited resource.
You just want to hang out and catch fish for the next however much time it takes for us to get back to port?
I'm not much of a drinker.
It's not about the drinking is the thing.
Is it because you're bored?
I mean, like, a little bit. I'm bored, and there's a guy who's being a dick to everybody. Don't get to have any fun down here.
I'm on record as calling it a bad idea. I'm a go.
All right. Well, then that seems like it's a shitty narrative decision if 2 people out of the 3 are not on board. So we should just edit that entire thing out.
No, it's good to know that you're the sort of guy that'll whip the crowd.
Right.
Just as a narrative device, as he called me creepy, a dark green rat ran across the floor with a destroyed other rat in its mouth and just waved at me as it ran by.
Does he bring you presents like that? Like
No. He's on his way to throw. He's on his way to throw it overboard.
He's the rat patrol.
Okay, I'm not explaining this in game yet, but just so Thomas knows what's going on. My familiar is a fiend, and he has a compulsion to cause suffering. And I try to indulge that in the most harmless ways possible.
As productive as you can.
Yes. So I'm letting him handle pest control. And he handles pest control through acts of physical violence.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go for a swim and see if I come back to a mutiny. I'm just gonna dive off and do my dolphin thing.
Are you going to stealth? Because you're not the crew. The crew is not supposed to be below above deck.
I'll hop out the anchor well.
Can you still give me a stealth check?
What are you swimming as?
Oh yeah, you could. Well, no, you can't change. Right? You've used up your. Oh no, it's a new day.
That was days ago. Yeah.
It's a new day for the Druid.
Yeah, and if this is just my bedtime workout, I could even turn. That comes out to, I think, a flat roll of a 14. No bonus, no negative. Indeed, 14.
You don't seem to attract attention as you go swimming.
Swordfish, marlin, something CR1, something big and beefy. Not open to simple predation. Shark, I think, is probably CR1. But yeah, big old hammerhead shark.
I've seen some of those some sharks recently.
Yeah, and basically it's just getting to know the waters, checking out the waters ahead, using speak with animals to get any rumors. Hey.
All they tell you is there's this big boat.
All right, so you managed to take a swim and undetected. There anything else before next morning?
I eventually call Pickle back and make sure we both get rest.
Excellent.
He'd murder all night if I let him.
Right.
Yeah, your character just never doesn't sound creepy. That's a pretty creepy thing to say.
So that's the thing. He's the nicest guy, but everything about him is unsettling.
All right, so unless there's anything else, the next day starts again, and we have you can do a daytime action, and you have work to do.
Do we know?
Anybody want to work first?
Do we know how to tell Port?
They haven't given you any indication. Korrim could probably give you an estimate. He's got some good navigation, as I understand it.
I do, and if I've ever been to Port Peril from around here, I know the path and the times. Just being a Minotaur.
Mm-hmm. When evening comes, you can make a check, and we'll you can kind of make that determination.
Right, check stars and things.
Yeah. Yeah, sun's in the way right now.
Well, even just knowing if I'm near a path that I've been on, like the labyrinthine recall for Minotaurs is any path I've ever traveled.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're probably about given that.
maybe it gives an advantage on the navigation or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you can make a navigation roll right now if you like. Given your
that is 17. That's an intelligence for navigators tools, right?
yeah.
All right, so +5, 22.
About a week away.
Okay.
Going at the pace that this ship seems to be capable of, which is pretty. It's speedy, but it's also a big ship, so it's not the fastest. It's fast for its size.
All right.
So that's what you do. Did you? Let's see, swabbing the deck here.
Still on swabbing duty.
Yep.
All right. Well, I will enhance ability again.
They need all hands on deck. Hauling rope and not work. Need you to make a strength check.
22 with the advantage. Also, if it's specifically lifting and carrying, both strength gives me double capacity, if that matters.
You're tying and untying knots in the ship's ropes and moving heavy coils of rope from one part of the ship to another. So some heavy lifting. So yeah, you lift the hell out of those ropes and tie them efficiently. You knock it out of the park. All right, other daytime things. Who wants to go next?
I'm guessing I'm fishing again.
Let's see. You have enough supplies to do fishing. You have enough supplies to just cook with what you have, so just need an intelligence check for cooking.
Wait.
Unless you have proficiency with the tool set. You got the
Yeah.
tool.
I do not. Just regular intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. 13.
13. All right, you managed to, work with what you have and put together enough for the crew.
It's food! Technically.
Right. And one of the spellcasters had offered to create food and water, but Mr. Plugg, he screamed at them and was not a fan. He seemed superstitious against magic, the magic aspect of it. So
this is gonna go so good.
I think Key is just gonna hella shirk their duties. Just basically, if they could get away with not doing work, then that's what they'll do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just doing as little of it as possible. Bitching about it anytime they have to do anything.
All right, let's see.
I mean, if we were gonna mutiny, who'd be captain?
Oh, it would absolutely be me. I've already decided this.
So you're just gonna shirk and just chill out, like just try not to work.
Yeah, probably hang out up on the on the like mast or whatever, just go like fly up to some spot and hang out.
Okay. Pull up the right sheet here.
I mean, unless it looks like there's like a storm or some shit that it's like all of a sudden I actually care.
It doesn't see, you don't see any storm clouds brewing.
Yep.
And they wanted you to do rope work, which is a dex check. So if you just don't want to do it, you'll start to get yelled at by Scourge, and you up at the very top. Or is that what's up?
Yeah, I guess yeah. I'll
Get down and work.
Yeah,
you have every hand on deck.
Yeah, if you needed every hand on deck, you would think you would work to keep your crew happy, wouldn't you?
Oh boy.
I don't give a damn about your happiness.
Then you don't give a damn about your rope work. You can get up here and do it.
He starts climbing up.
Oh, this'll be great.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. I'm probably just going to keep hopping from like mast to mast and antagonizing him.
Right. Hold on. I didn't think I was going to need his stats. It's in my folder over here.
Because who in their right mind would pick a fight?
If it's just, oh, everybody did their job and then the day passed. That's a boring 20 minutes.
I sigh heavily and start looking up chicken recipes.
So you say as he gets closer to you, and he moves pretty fast in the rigging. He's clearly lived a long life on the sea. Scourge.
Yeah.
And so you said start kind of flying from post to post.
Yeah. I just
mast.
hop. I hop from mast to mast. I also am no stranger to the sea. I was a sailor before I got kidnapped.
All right.
I'm probably poking fun at him the whole way, making sure that as many people as possible see him, like struggling to keep me in line.
You know,
so he takes out his heavy crossbow and rolls a.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, and I don't think hits your AC.
No, well I mean I assume not. It's just I don't know what the modifiers are.
Yeah. Not above 10. Okay. Yeah, and he shoots again, and with another poor roll. Maybe I should drop roll 20 tonight. It's not doing me any favors.
Yeah. I'll probably eventually get to work. I just want to make sure that he looks bad first.
And he does look bad. He's rolling terrible here.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a natural 1. Okay, at that point he just he throws in the towel on that.
All right. It's totally worth the lashings to me. Because in my mind, the more that he's yelling and hollering and doing all this shit and looking like an idiot, more people are going to stop and like look and like watch him completely out of control of the situation. And it's good enough for me. And then I go down and I do my rope work after he gives up.
All right, give me a dex check for that.
Okay. It's a 21.
Well, you're at a penalty for shirking your work, but you nail it anyway.
Oh, that's so perfect.
It's like, don't you hate when cocky people prove themselves right? That's just gross.
And that was Scourge?
That was Scourge, who was shooting arrows at you. All right, and Thomas, did we do your daily action and work yet?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Did the rope work yesterday?
Sorry, hold on. Do you have any daytime actions that you want to take?
Not really. I mean, if I can also get to know the ship a little, and maybe see if there's anything that we missed on that whole plundering run.
Okay. You can make a search.
Investigate.
Investigate, yeah. Like, yeah.
I believe that's just intelligence for me.
Yeah.
So that will be a 17.
17. They picked they picked it pretty clean. I mean, you find like a couple ordinary daggers, but that's it. They were like tucked on, like stashed underneath seats, or underneath planks, tucked away. So yeah, find a couple of daggers.
Cool. I'll take them.
For stabbing. All right.
And then once again, I'll enhance ability for any of the job stuff I have to do.
Right, swabbing. Let's see what task it is. They have you splicing rope and sewing sails. So I need a dex check from you.
Okay, I will give myself cat's grace, because dexterity, not my best stat. New, that's a 4.
Yikes. Yeah, you sew up. You try sewing the sail, but you're so slow at it. Your stitches are so sloppy. I just imagine a Minotaur sewing. It's about what you'd expect, I think. It doesn't go so well. So, yeah, you are not as efficient at that as you sometimes are. It's your job. I think that was everybody's daytime stuff. Yes, or did I miss David?
No, you did mine.
Okay, thought so.
I made food.
All right, so the night comes again, and there's no rum ration.
I think that when he says there's no rum ration, I'm like, really? Are you sure? You sure about that?
Yar.
Oh boy.
And the crew is clearly agitated by the lack of rum rations, and they can't gamble, they can't play games, they can't, they have to, they're working hard. And Rosie is also unhappy. Who put Mr. Plugg in charge anyway?
Oh. Well, actually, that was probably the captain.
Yeah, the captain's not here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There is that.
And Thomas, were you going to make a navigation check for the evening? Or, I mean, we did one already. I didn't know if you were going to do another one in the evening.
Nat 20.
Wow.
Because I had advantage from Labyrinthine Recall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you also give me a stealth check, since you're going to be sneaking out again to do that?
I will be a mouse.
Oh. Well, okay then.
Keep a lookout for a green rat.
Yep.
Right. So, with your exceptional read of the stars in the sky, you notice that you are no longer going towards Port Peril.
Where are we going?
Well, it's hard to tell. based on, there's a few things in the direction you're going, but one of them, give me, there's not knowledge checks.
I did nat 20 that navigation.
You did nat 20 the navigation.
Survival?
It seems like you're going in the direction now of a place called Rickety Squibs. And as a pirate, you know this. And it's a place where ships are kind of refitted to not look like the ships they once were. You know that as with your exceptional navigation skill and knowledge of the area. There's other things in that direction too, but as a pirate, that's your best guess.
I love that name.
I could tell.
It sounds like a family casual dining restaurant, like TGI Fridays.
I buddied up to Scourge early on in the voyage when we were just after we press ganged. Like I if I remember right, I got the best persuasion roll I've ever gotten. I don't say a lot, but where does he sleep?
He sleeps in officers' quarters on the upper deck.
Okay.
Where's Sandara staying? Is she also staying up deck?
No, Sandara is down with you guys. Down with y'all.
Oh. You all.
Healing people's rope burns, doing cleric things.
Yeah.
Like you do.
So does Scourge have his own bunk, or is he like in a room with other officers?
What other officers are there?
Well, there is, there's Scourge. Mr. Plugg has the captain's quarters, and Scourge is in a room with other officers.
They're just some unnamed officers.
NPCs 1 through 4. Yeah.
Right. I just didn't know if they were important or not, if they were people we had met or not.
You've met them. They're they're other members of the crew. They're not all of the backup barbarians, as I like to call them, that are loyal to Captain North. They all stayed with Captain North.
Right.
And they were all fairly high ranking within the status structure of the ship. But these are not they.
Well, I feel like this evening is a great time to rally people some more, mostly because I made Scourge look like a fucking idiot today.
I don't tell you guys any of this yet.
No, I don't know anything about us going off course.
Okay.
I just know that he hasn't given us rum for 2 days, keeps talking shit, and now I made him look like an idiot. And I already had a bunch of people like saying like, yeah, like what the fuck, like yesterday, and now they're like getting.
No, that wasn't Plugg.
Yeah, that was Scourge, but
that was Scourge. What I mean is that the main leadership of the ship seems to not have a great grasp on this group of people. And I think that maybe tonight, just as I'm like grumbling, maybe I say something to the effect of like, I could do a better fucking job than these clowns.
Roll a charisma check.
Charisma check.
Mm-hmm.
Not a performance or persuasion.
Do you feel like with that statement you're doing either of those things?
I feel like I am probably performance, because I'm very much talking up myself as I normally do. I'm obviously not just grumbling it to myself. It's probably the few people that were like, yeah, like what the fuck, like yesterday. I'm like getting them to like feed my ego a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a 21.
21. To feed your ego a little bit. Yeah, you could do a better job. What are we doing here?
It's just us and the water here. Like,
we need the rum. You would give us rum, right?
Yeah, I'd give us rum. That's like supposed.
what is that? I some pirates before or whatever said some shit about it being like bad luck not to give the crew rum. Like,
yeah, that's bad luck. And there's
so proportionally of the people that are on the ship, how many people are like, yeah, like, is it
What percentage?
yeah? Is it just like three dudes that are like just super like just agreeable, or is it?
So as you're sort of surveying the crowd, of people responding to you, it seems like there's not a lot of dissent to the sentiment that you're putting forth, and some people are sort of quietly nodding, and there's other people who are, yeah,
For sure.
but yeah, that's where it's at. Pretty not a lot of support. It's a lot of support.
For sure. Yeah, none of us even fucking asked to be here.
I'm gonna call out Sendara, or not Sendara. What's her name?
Sandara?
Rosie.
Is it Sendara?
Rosie's the half elf.
The cleric of Besmara.
Yeah, that's Sendara.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call her out and be like, "Hey, you are the priest of the pirate goddess. Why don't you tell us what a captain's duties to his crew are, and what a crew can do to redress grievances in the eyes of the Queen of the Sea? Because if we piss off Besmara, it doesn't matter who's the captain, we all sink."
Fair enough.
Sendara considers this. And she starts to, tell a story about, Besmara and unworthy captains that don't treat their crew as pirates and as fellow pirates. And so she says there's nothing wrong with a good mutiny when it's called for. That's the moral of the story.
Is it called for?
Bolthorn's kind of like gives an eye roll. Like, I was really hoping for a voice of reason, but all right. If Besmara says sometimes it's got to happen, then
Gideon is actually speaking up now.
Oh.
When she says that,
Okay.
and says, "But is it called for?"
I think that Key's probably just like, yeah, I think it fucking is. Like,
well,
Wait,
are you
we're all
touched by the
working.
spirit of Besmara and schooled in all of the history of pirate lore, or should we let the cleric tell us if if 2 days of rum ration getting skipped is enough to chuck him overboard?
We're all. This is a skeleton crew. We're all working double shifts because there's not enough people to work more than that. If everyone's drunk every night, the ship doesn't get run and we all die.
who said that it's like nobody getting
like
rum
10
ration is not the same as getting like wasted every night.
Shakes. Like it's like these are people who have had rum every day for months and are now like
A little shaky.
Is that true?
Yeah, they definitely want they want the rum, and they're feeling a little bit of addiction.
Yep.
You're pretty much an alcoholic at that point.
Right.
Drinking every night like that.
Gideon takes a very, very heavy sigh, and then turns to Key and says, "I could try to talk to him."
Oh, this should be great. The spooky boy wants to talk to the captain and his devil best friend. Seems like it'll go great. You go for it, dude.
Devil best friend?
No, his best friend who is the devil. But he's a really bad shot.
Oh, you're just insulting what's his face.
I mean, your friends are actually devils.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
That's an awkward reference to me.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very much intended by Cedric, not by Key.
Fair enough. It's a good one.
if I can convince him to give out a rum ration, can we avoid dooming this ship with this mutiny?
What makes you think the ship would be doomed? I could run this ship better than these guys. I've run a ship before.
You've displayed no signs of being a good captain.
Seems that these guys disagree.
Right, they're going through withdrawals. I've gone
Where do
through
you go to
withdrawals.
sell
It's
your
not my best judgment. Sorry?
Where do you go to sell your goods? Who you got to fence the gear? You got contacts? I mean, there's a lot to being a captain besides handing out rum. Can you handle that?
Sure, I can. I could find people. Unless
All you've demonstrated so far is your lack of understanding of the necessity of the basic jobs of a ship. 3 days under your rule and the boat is covered in dried salt. The sails are flying away and everyone's hungry.
See, this is what happens when nobody gets their rum. Everybody becomes unlikable.
all I'm saying is that all this guy has done is hang around, be a buzzkill, and as soon as it and back the most unlikable guy on the ship.
That's arguable.
Plug had a
say-
reputation before he got handed the wheel to this ship. He's not nobody on the water. So if you go in with a plan, and you better go in with the blessing of the goddess. And if you can prove your piratehood to me, I might even help out.
What does it mean to prove my piratehood to you? What would that entail? Please regale me.
I look again at the cleric.
Then she shrugs. She's like, being down here, we can't do a lot of the, games and challenges that we normally conduct for pirating. But in terms of my opinion on a mutiny, I'm in favor of it. Mr. Plugg is a cruel, ruthless man, and I have no interest in serving him.
I turn to the Druid and say, popular opinion aside, what do you think we should do for the good of this ship?
Keel haul him.
All right.
Mutiny!
You have proven to him that you know what you're doing on a boat, so he's just defaulting to your wisdom.
Right. We can
Yep,
sort
that
out
sounds
count
right.
later. And if any of the officers are open to signing up, they generally get first dibs on the wheel. But Plugs. I'm not a fan.
So how do we do this?
Well, let's see.
I
So
think such things are traditionally done in their sleep.
right. So logistics question: is it everybody but the 5 people that are below deck right now?
Yeah,
It's just the officers and Mr. Plugg?
yeah. They're all up on they're on the upper deck, and everyone else is in the lower hold where you are, except for the 5 prisoners are in the main hold, but
Okay. And presumably the people who are guarding the prisoners are people who are more loyal to Mr. Plugg than the people hanging out here in the lower hold. Or is
Sometimes
that made up of these people?
It's sometimes it's not. They take shifts, so you get kind of shifting levels of loyalty.
Right. I'm mostly trying to figure out, is it like, I assume it's not the top deck people though.
No.
That are guarding these.
No, especially not at night.
Yeah. So.
One of their lackeys doing it.
Yeah. So I know that the prisoners harbor no love for Mr. Plugg and the fellas up top. I mean,
it's true.
I mean, if their options are A, just wait out the ride until we get to Peril Port, was that what it was? Port
Peril. Mm-hmm.
And become slaves, or join us, or aid in the mutiny and then get to basically choose between joining us or walking free when we get to port, might be a pretty good deal for them. So we could enlist their aid, and they've got a few Minotaurs in there. I'm trying to think. Mr. Scourge has shown that that with just a little bit of provocation, he can lose his head pretty easily. So I feel like playing to his ego might do that. If we could, I could goad him out of. I can goad him into one-on-one, maybe. So my suggestion.
Why are we assuming that Scourge isn't going to join up? I mean, other than the fact that you've specifically antagonized him now and probably not made a friend of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's never been my friend. He drugged me and brought me onto a ship against my will. But
that was North, and then it was Plugg. Scourge is the other guy.
Okay, fair enough. We don't. Okay, so the only person that we know needs to go is Plugg. Well, I mean, if there are like all of us and then like at most 5 of them. So I mean, I have experience as a sailor and running a ship. I will defer to your experience as a pirate. Do you think that we should enlist the help of the prisoners now? Mostly speaking to Korrim, but also to Sandara as well, as people who are more versed in the ways of pirate.
Nah, it's risk we don't need.
Somewhere in here, there's a metaphor about pulling the plug and the ship sinking.
That's it. Sandara is shrugged. She doesn't have a firm opinion on it. The some of the other crew just be like they're getting really hyped up about mutiny, and they're just let's every additional person.
Well, I don't necessarily want this to turn into like us mutinying and then getting stabbed in the back. So if that seems like something that is likely, then we could just leave him under for now. But
it's a risk. I'd leave him down there unless it's obvious we're going to need it. We're also not going to do this like just as a grumpy mob. All like there's got to be a plan, and we've got to have an opportunity.
Right.
So, right. We've made the decision. Now we make the plan. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
In that case, everybody should probably break it up and get some sleep.
Cool. All right. I'll accept that.
All right. So the cries for mutiny they simmered down some as plans were formed but not yet acted upon, and we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. So yeah, you talk of mutiny in the evening, and your crew seems interested and supportive of the idea, but the time was not yet right, and so morning breaks, and another day of work is ahead of us. Key, why don't we start with you? Are you going to shirk your responsibilities today, or are you gonna do your rigging work?
I'll go and I'll do it diligently to I think maybe half out of spite to Gideon, who's being like, this guy doesn't know, this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you'll get a bonus to your work roll.
Right.
Let's see what
Do
that
your job
is.
too well, it's suspicious.
Do what?
If you do your job too well, he might get suspicious. Plugg might.
Yeah, I mean, like, I showed that I fucking know how to do it.
Mhm.
So like that, like yesterday I did it great after dodging three crossbow bolts and
Right,
spending
I'm
half the
saying
day hopping around on the mast.
If you suddenly become a good employee,
Oh, if you don't think I'm heckling Scourge and Plugg the entire time,
there
you're
you go.
sorely mistaken. I'm just also doing a damn good job on my rigging.
All right, so you're going to be tasked with upper rigging work and climbing, or in your case, flying around and in the upper rigging. And can you give me your piloting watercraft
Yeah.
roll?
Cool.
It's a very Shadowrun way to say that skill. I can't remember the D&D
Yeah,
way to say
it's
that skill.
just naval or aquatic vehicles.
Aquatic vehicles.
Do I add anything about my proficiency modifier, or is it there's no ability modifier that would go with it? Would I do dex for the rigging thing, or?
Yeah, it's usually Dex or that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 12. Damn, I've gotten a lot of 5s tonight.
Well, that does it. It's you
It's
successfully
enough.
you successfily work in the rigging, even to the satisfaction of your superiors.
Yeah. I chalk up my slightly worse job to the fact that I spent too much time hanging from the ropes, yelling insults at probably namely at Plugg if I see him. If he's just hanging out in the captain's quarters, then mostly probably at Scourge.
Okay.
But yeah, there we go. Did it.
All right. Korrim, how about you? What would you like to do?
I am going to see if I can't hit up Scourge and/or one of the other officers, and just mop the deck near them for a minute and strike up a chat. If I'm mopping decks, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which work I'm doing today.
So yeah, you attempt this, but they all seem unusually cold. I mean, they've never been friendly, right? They're hard ass pirates, but they seem especially grumpy and not and unpleasant when you try to talk to them and they don't engage with you. Seems to have taken a different tone.
Well, once it's not hi, how you doing? It goes cold and quiet. I look both ways so nobody's listening. It's like, do you all know where we're going? Because I do.
You're saying that to the officers?
Yeah.
They narrow their eyes. What do you know?
That was all the answer I needed. Thanks, fellas. And mop.
Okay. Let's see your task. It's actually catching rats. is the task, but because Pickle has been doing that, I'm going to say that you you can't find any rats to catch.
Right? Yeah, I'm just gonna go down and hang in the kitchen for a second and, with Gideon and be like, "Hey, Pickle, doing his thing today?"
At this point, he's kind of bored, actually.
Oh, great. Well, I was on rat duty. Thanks for the salad.
Pickle's with me, and he gives you a little salute.
While I'm in the kitchen, I'll just hit everything with a purify food and drink in case we've got any stores that are getting a little on the edge, like use by date. Just freshen that up a little.
Right. Get the mold off those oranges.
Right. And yeah, 30 good berries. Or what's the crew now? I don't necessarily need to blow them all on that.
It's about 15 in total.
There'll be 2 spell slots.
Yeah, 15 not including the officers, so 20. All right. Gideon, you are down in the kitchen. What do you do?
I'm making food. If I don't make food, nobody eats.
It's true. So you're in a good area for turtle hunting. Leatherback sea turtles with harpoons, treble hooks, and nets. So if you give me a survival check.
Great. 19.
Wow, you get an impressive haul of leatherback turtles.
I kind of feel bad about that.
Right, it's probably the worst thing you've done as a pirate at this point.
Pickle's very proud of me, though.
Do you still refer to it as murdering instead of like the word is hunting?
Oh no, Pickle with the rats, that was murdering.
Cold-blooded.
Hunting stories rarely go, I found it, and then I beat the crap out of it.
And I made it suffer, and then I didn't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
I made sure its children were watching.
On that note, we wrapped up daily tasks. The evening comes again. No rum ration, and the crew gathers down in the hold below.
Now, you said we were a week from Port Peril. Were we also a week from Rats?
Yeah,
what was it?
Rickety Squibs.
Rickety Squibs. It was Rickety something.
It's a good question. I don't have the map right in front of me. Pull it up here.
I will believe whatever you tell me.
Yeah. Well, it would have been about 5 days based on what you know of because you've been there before. You pirate Minotaur with navigational memory.
I'm going to consult with Sandara.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know that there is rum?
Yeah, we confirmed that.
I locate object.
Right.
Can I tell you something under the auspices of confession or whatever it is that keeps priests from talking about my business?
Sandara's I'm
Sure.
I'm happy to lend an ear to a good friend.
Great. We're not headed to Port Peril.
What?
Yeah, we're headed to Rickety Squibs.
Oh. Wonder what that means for us.
I don't know. But law of the sea. North told them to. North took the ship. We're on North's ship, so we're already in a mutiny, right?
It's yeah. Plugg is disregarding orders from Captain North. Maybe he's attempting to become a free captain himself.
Well, let's do this then. All right, last of my reservations. We break that to the crew that are going to riot.
Okay. Yep, it's evening when you're having this conversation with Sandara, and some people have started to go to sleep, but most of them are still awake.
Right.
Without Rome, there's not a lot of reasons to stay awake.
I will poke Gideon and Key.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yeah, what's up?
If we're going to do this so nobody gets hurt, traditionally such things are done in their sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. So, sounds like you have something in
Sure.
mind.
Plugg's already trying to steal the ship. So when it comes down to other pirates giving us grief about taking it, we were just doing pirating. We're already in a mutiny. Now it's just about who gets the top rock.
Hang on. So Plugg's already mutinied?
Yeah, we're
Think
headed to a different port.
Okay.
I've been checking stars, taking readings. I got, Minotaur brain.
Right.
We're not going where North told us to go.
Dude,
All right. Cool. Well, then if there wasn't justification before, there sure as hell is now. But
How
yeah,
are we
if
doing this?
I
Sorry, what
say we try to limit other crew involvement.
I agree. I think that if they heard it could lead to some disorganized movement.
Yep. I don't think we need them. So I don't know how your Hujum works, Gideon, but I'm gonna prep the fight spells tomorrow. You
Cool.
keep your sword sharp. Do you have to prepare? Are you one of those casters? Okay.
I just do things.
Okay. So you do what you do. I will prep for a fight. I mix and match. I don't have much in the way of combat spells today. But if we can catch them alone anytime during the day, get any opportunities. I'm gonna hit a Druid craft real quick. How's the weather tomorrow?
The weather is clear.
Okay.
A little bit of clouds, but not no precipitation.
I thought you wanted to do this while they were asleep.
So unless
We're preparing
unless
the day for that
opportunity
night.
presents itself tomorrow where we could get in a good ambush, I think tomorrow we just play everything cool, and then
And then tomorrow night, get rid of him? Are we capturing or expelling? I don't know how I don't know how any of this works, so I'm defaulting to you. I get what a mutiny is, but are we taking him prisoner or are we sending him to the fish?
It sounds like if we take him as prisoner, he's probably as good as dead anyway, because he's either ending up with the other prisoners or he's ending up with the pissed off crew.
That's fair.
North might want to ransom him to punish him himself.
Fair enough.
So we're capturing him.
We'll shoot for capture. I mean, if we can. I don't know. I don't know if any of the officers will turn, but if they don't, maybe they disappear in the night tomorrow or the next day.
Yep.
So you want to do this tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I say, unless there is the perfect opportunity where he's just asking for it. But yeah, I think middle of the night tomorrow.
I'm in the kitchen all day, so I'm not the best one to keep an eye on him.
I can. I've got a good view of the entire ship.
I can have my pet watch him too.
Okay. Hey, Plugg get his own meal.
I don't know.
No,
A special plate for him, or does he eat with the crew?
he
I
doesn't
kinda
eat with
think
the crew.
Does he have somebody in particular make his food, or does he just have Gideon make him something special?
He eats the same food, but he has a small personal attendant kind of person.
Cabin boy.
Yeah,
So
like you only ever see this. It's like 15-year-old girl, like not. Yeah, and you only see her when she comes to get the meals, and then she goes and delivers them, and then you don't see her again.
Okay, but there is
I
like
don't know if that's
distinct
more
food
or
for
less
Plugg.
What?
What?
That's food that's distinctly for Plugg, though. So like,
Yeah, she comes and takes it. She also tastes it.
okay,
She's
fair
the
enough.
poison taster as well.
I was gonna say if he has someone to bring him his food, he has someone to taste his food.
Right.
So that's what's up with that. Planning mutiny tomorrow evening. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to do or discuss before going to bed on this evening?
I'm trying to think about if there's anything that I can do to prep for the, because I don't have like spells or shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to think about if there's anything that I could like do, like maybe like go get a. If the guards take shifts, maybe get people that are like. No, because we don't want the crew to know. Well, do we want the crew to know that we're? No, we don't want them to know that we're doing stuff. 'Cause they'll try and join in.
Or the let's.
Yeah,
He probably has a snitch.
that's fair. But if he had a snitch, then I don't know why he wouldn't come after me already, because I've been talking mutiny since like the first night. But-
Talking is, I would imagine, is to be expected.
The officers definitely know something's up.
Right.
So
Fair enough.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely okay with the rest of the crew not knowing. I was just trying to, I'm just trying to get a feel for what can be done without them knowing. I'll probably just stay on the rigging and figure out what we can do. Do we know where we're putting Plugg if we do manage to take him alive? Because like I said, if we put him with the other prisoners, they'll kill him, and if we put him with the crew, they'll kill him.
I don't
Give
think
him a nice cozy cell in the captain's cabin.
if they're all chained up and I mean they can't kill each other, they can't kill him. They're
That's an idea. Turn the captain's quarters into a cell.
Yep. Perhaps this could be a quiet mutiny.
yeah, it's the idea. I'd rather not see a lot of the crew get hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not out of character, Thomas. I'm not sure what your plan is since you're not eating and vomiting him now.
It may still come down to that.
But you're not shooting him overboard. You're
maybe. I mean, maybe if I can keep him grappled, I just hop him down to the cell or wherever we keep him. We just lock him in a trunk, whatever.
Yep.
with some air holes, please.
Right. I mean, once he's, if it goes well and he's in my mouth and I open up and you guys are pointing swords and asking for a surrender, I think you'll make the smart choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
would.
Seems like a good plan.
Sounds good.
But,
Good night, everybody.
Sleep tight.
And we'll see how it goes and what happens before then. Ocean has a funny way of throwing your plans outside the ship.
Yep.
All right. So do you all head to the hammocks?
Yeah.
I'm already there. Night, everybody.
All right. So I know. So the evening passes, and I know a couple of you have spells that you prepare just before dawn. Is that what I understand?
Yeah, I got to do my prayers.
Just about just shortly after you've finished your prayers, you and everyone else in the ship is jolted as the ship and you hear a horrible sound as the ship crashes into something. From where you are, you can't tell, but it has. Those of you who weren't awake already are jolted out of the hammocks.
All right. Well.
Or he just gets spun up like a.
It's all very Homer Simpson. Just.
All right. Well, I guess.
And you hear water, the sound of water rushing in a part of the ship.
No.
Well, this changes things a lot a bit. So I guess I'm running up above deck.
All right, as you all run up,
And I'll probably help anybody else up that's stuck in their hammock or fallen over or whatever.
Okay.
Helping everybody to get up.
So and as you see, you hear it before you see it. You hear a screaming match going on between Scourge and Mr. Plugg, and Scourge, I thought you knew where we were going, and Mr. Plugg is kind of looking at a map, and Thomas, can you roll a navigation check?
Do I get advantage from my Minotaur brain?
No, I don't think so. Because you're not. Oh.
Well, then I sucked. That'll get me to 10 with my tools, though.
10. That's enough. It's you recognize that Mr. Plugg is using navigation terms, but you can tell he's not as comfortable with them as someone who might successfully navigate a ship might be.
He's just using vocabulary words.
Yeah. He's trying to remember what the flashcard said. So he's there. Him and Mr. Plugg, him and Scourge are having this exchange, and as the screaming match continues, other crew members are coming up, and there's a lot of angry faces.
I'm gonna nudge and just tell them while they're busy, you start giving orders to the crew.
To me?
Yeah, start telling them how to start saving the ship, man.
Where's the sound of water rushing in coming from?
It's down below, and as you're up deck now. If you take a look here, there's I can take you here and roll 20 actually. We are here, and in the kind of north of the island is where your ship has run into coral reef on the edge of the island.
Right. Okay.
And it's taken in water, and there's already a couple. There's one or two people who are starting to run the pumps and
Right.
making emergency
Try-
taking
trying
emergency
to
measures.
patch or whatever.
I'm heading down to the hole.
All right. I assume
I
that
am Minotaur
he's
overboard.
Yeah. I assume that he is telling people to do things, but Cedric does not know the terms that would be used for how to, like.
Well, how about a roll a persuasion check? We'll see how persuasive you are.
For sure.
That Jim.
I'm running into a lot of issues of character knowledge that is greater than player knowledge. So a persuasion check. I'm okay at persuasion. That's a 20.
Nice. So you see a group of angry crewmates who are listening to this argument between Scourge and Mr. Plugg, and you say,
Hey,
quit, get down there, start
gawking,
repairs.
Yeah, exactly.
I head down to the hole. What do I see?
There's been significant damage. That's going to take probably days of repair. You don't have a good gauge of these things.
How much water is rushing? Water's rushing in? I'm guessing.
Yeah, water's coming in. A couple people are already shoveling, working to get it out. And
how big is the breach?
The breach. It's about. Let's see, 10 by 10, 10 by 15, somewhere in there.
10 by 10. I freeze the water in the hole.
All right. Well, that fixes that immediate problem.
You just see Gideon run up, look at the thing, mutter something, gesture, and it just turns to ice. A 10 by 10 foot square.
And as you freeze it, something you notice is that the water was not only coming in from the ocean; it was also the barrels that had fresh water stored on the ship were also punctured and have completely drained out.
Shit.
Top notch.
Have already drained out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have purified food and water on this ship at least.
That is true.
So.
But we're not taking on water anymore, at least.
Right. That is the most immediate and important issue to have addressed.
I can keep it that way for an hour.
And I will have been limiting the amount we were taking on in the first place underwater with the shape water cantrip. Right. Just
that's what I'm using.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna reverse the flow.
Yeah, if it's a cantrip, then you can keep it going for a while. You just have to keep casting it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Okay. I don't know if Key knows that you're doing that because Key's upstairs giving people orders, telling people to.
You hear the water no longer rushing in.
All right, that sounds like a good thing. I trust that the people that I told to go down there and fixed it. And
as you're chatting with him, Scourge and Mr. Plugg wrap up their argument, and Mr. Plugg turns his attention to you, Key.
Right.
Who the hell do you think you are ordering my crew around? And he draws his he draws a sword.
I will draw my rapier. I will draw my rapier with a flourish, and I will say, your crew. If this were your crew, they would have. We would be underwater by now. But instead, I got somebody on the job, and that is fixed. You are unfit to be captain of this ship. And I try to make sure as many people that are still above deck hear me. I am being very loud.
That sounds like mutiny talk. You better be careful. And Scourge straightens up and draws his weapon as well.
I think that this is the part where I say, isn't this already a mutiny? We're not going toward Port Peril at all, are we, Mr. Plugg?
it is at this point that we would be entering initiative, and and we're getting late into the evening, so I think we're going to leave that for next time.
All right.
As you have crashed onto Bone Rack Isle, and have started a mutiny on top of the mutiny.
Well, so much for mutinying. So much for a quiet mutiny. But if it's gonna be loud, may as well have it be real loud.
Right. I still think it'll go about the same.
Yep.
It's just not sleeping.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this game. My name is Allison. This has been Cedric, Thomas, and David for GameBreakers, and thanks for watching. Like if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and see you next time.
Bye.